What's up and welcome to my channel, E Smells Good. If you're a fan of fragrances or a fan of fragrance related content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can stay up to date on everything that I post from here going forward. In today's video, we're going to be discussing my top 10 fragrances that I am looking forward to wearing the most during the season of summer. So of course, feel free to drop a comment and let me know what you are looking forward to wearing as well as what I should get my nose on. Now, jump starting our list is going to be from the house of Tommy Bahama, and it is Saint Bart's. Now, this is a very, very affordable fragrance. You can find this one usually around that $20, $25 price point. I found this one at Ross for $19.99. It is lime, sea salt, and tequila. So think of a summer tropical style beverage. That is what this one smells like. It's perfectly suited for maybe a day at the pool, maybe a cruise, maybe a beach trip. Think tropical, fun, summer vibes. Now, this is one that I don't necessarily get the best performance out of. I get maybe about 2 to 3 hours of projection, and then after that it sits as an extremely close skin scent. So this is one that I would highly recommend you keep maybe a decant or even keep the bottle with you if you can and reapply it throughout the day. But when it comes to summer vibes, it does not get too much better, especially at an affordable price tag, than Saint Bart's. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Versace, and it is Versace Man O Fresh. This one is, once again, this is summer in a bottle. It is extremely fresh, very citrusy, but it also has a very unique note of star fruit. And that star fruit note gives this one a slight tropical vibe that really sets it apart from other fragrances. Even though this one is kind of a mainstay in the fragrance community, it really does smell like nothing else on the market. This one you can usually find at a fairly affordable price tag. I think I got my bottle for around $30-ish. It is a tester bottle. Only thing that's different, you have a sticker on the back that has the notes. And then I saved the cap from a previous bottle so that I could just keep it, make it look like a complete fragrance instead of having it with no cap as testers usually come. But this one is extremely fresh. It's not only is it a fresh fragrance, but it is almost a refreshing fragrance. So you almost feel like you feel cooled down a little bit on a hot summer day when you spray this one on. So this is one that is a mainstay in my summer rotation for sure. This is my third bottle. I had a 1.7 ounce, I had a 3.4 ounce, and this is my second 3.4 ounce. So this is one that I wear very heavily during the summer, and I anticipate as this summer continues to heat up that I will probably reach for this one more and more. So once again, from the house of Versace, we have Versace Man O Fresh. Next on the list is going to be from the house of Al Haramain, and it is Aqua Dubai. If you have followed this channel for any time, then you know this is one that I am a huge fan of. I made a video where I wore this fragrance for an entire week straight, and if I'm being quite honest with you, I did not get tired of wearing this one at all during that week. This one is their take on, you can use your imagination. I don't want to say too much because I've heard of a lot of content creators getting videos copyrighted and taken down for mentioning specific companies. So I don't want to say too much, but you all know what this is a clone of. And in my opinion, it does really good at that. It's very soapy. It's very fresh. It has a little bit of a sweet melon note in the top. Overall, this one is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Very, very well suited for the summertime, for the high heat, and I get outstanding performance with this one. There have been days where I have clocked this one around the 14-hour mark. I would say on average, I'm getting around 10 to 12 hours, but as far as fresh summer fragrances goes, it does not get much better than that. So on those high heat days where I just want to smell fresh, I want to smell clean, I want to smell soapy, this is the one that I'm going to be reaching for. Once again, this one is Aqua Dubai from the house of Al Haramain. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Latafa, and it is Latafa's Mahir Legacy. This is their take on Sedley. This one is, it's exactly like Sedley. It is Sprite in a bottle, lime, very effervescent, very fizzy. It is that Sprite in a bottle type of a fragrance. This is one that does very well in the high heat for me. I get good performance with it. It's also highly complimented. I didn't mention with Aqua Dubai, that one is probably my most complimented fragrance this year. This one is probably right behind it. This is one that I find just extremely easy to wear. I reach for this for the gym. I reach for it for work. My girlfriend has become a massive fan of this one, so I end up reaching for this a lot when I know that I'm going to be spending time with her. So this is just one that I end up wearing a lot, and it's probably going to end up being my most worn fragrance overall for summer. So once again, from the house of Latafa, we have Mahir Legacy, a very affordable summer fragrance. You can usually find this for like 20 bucks. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Raban, and it is Invictus Aqua. Now this is the 2018 edition. There's been so many reformulations of the Invictus Aqua DNA, but my personal favorite has been the 2018. Take that Invictus DNA, add a little bit of an aquatic flair. You still get that slight sweet bubble gummy type of a fragrance, but overall this one is a lot more fresh. They've amped up the citruses, they've amped up that aquatic nature, and overall this one just smells extremely good in the high heat. As you can see, I have put quite a dent in this bottle, and for the size of a collection that I have, that is a massive dent, and I do have a backup bottle waiting when this one finishes. This is one of the few fragrances that I have a backup bottle of, so I think that says volumes about how much I enjoy this fragrance. But if you are a fan of the Invictus DNA and you like the idea of having a more of an aquatic, summer focused flair on that DNA, definitely check out Invictus Aqua. Honestly, you could go for the 2018 or you could go for the new version that's on the market. Either one I think would be very, very well suited for the summertime. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Armoth, and it is Club de Nuit Sillage. This is going to be Armoth's take on the Creed Silver Mountain Water DNA. And in my opinion, I do think they get very, very close to that DNA. This one is very fresh. It's a bit citrusy and woody and musky. And you also have this very, very slight inky note, which some people are not a fan of, but to me, I am a huge fan of that DNA. It is my favorite Creed fragrance, and I am very happy to have an affordable alternative to it until I can get that one in my collection. This is not only one of my favorite summer fragrances to reach for, it's one of my most worn fragrances in my entire collection, period. My juice level is down to about here, and I have not had this bottle for that long. This is a fragrance that is highly complimented in my collection. It's one that people around me really, really enjoy, and it helps that it is also one of my favorite DNAs in my collection. And it is definitely one that I'm going to wear a lot for the summer. Once again, Armoth's Club de Nuit Sillage. Next up on our list is going to be from the house of Dior, and it is Dior Homme Cologne. This one is honestly a very basic fragrance. It smells like lemonade. That is the best description I could give you. It smells like an ice cold glass of lemonade. It is a simple fragrance, but when you're dealing with the high heat of summer, when you're dealing with temperatures that are in the 90s and sometimes 100 plus degrees, you don't want an overly complex fragrance, and this is perfect for those days. This is a fragrance that no matter how hot it gets, no matter how humid it gets, I can still reach for this one, and I don't have to worry about the fragrance getting cloying and drowning me out. Now, I will admit the performance on this one is not that good. This is one that you have to reapply, but I enjoy the scent of it so much that I do not care about reapplying it. In fact, I enjoy reapplying this one because I get to experience that opening over and over again. So once again, from the house of Dior, lemonade in a bottle, Dior Homme Cologne. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Parfums Vintage, and it is Rush of Unicorns. Now this is their take on the Creed Millesime Imperial DNA, and in my opinion, they get very, very close. I don't think if you went to like a Dillard's or a local mall to smell the current formulation of Millesime Imperial, that this will smell like it. But if you have smelled any of the older formulations of Millesime Imperial, in my opinion, this gets very close. This holds a lot truer to that more salty melon forward DNA that Millesime Imperial was really known for. Honestly, I feel like this one comes across a little denser, and honestly a little better quality than the current formulation that's out on the market. I feel like the current formulation feels a little bit watered down to me from the version that I originally sampled years and years ago, and this feels much closer to that one. But this one does very, very well in the high heat, and it is also one of the most complimented summer fragrances in my collection. I get really good performance with this one. I usually get around that 8 to 10 hour mark with this one, and that's leaps and bounds better than what I've been getting with recent formulations of Millesime Imperial. So when I'm craving that DNA, this is one that I reach for very, very often. Once again, we have Parfums Vintage, Rush of Unicorns. Next up on the list is going to be from the house of Versace, and it is Versace's Aeros Energy. Honestly, this is kind of Versace's competitor to Creed's Aventus Cologne. If you've seen the Aventus that comes in the light gray bottle, this is very comparable to that. Think of your Creed Aventus style DNA, that woody oak moss type of a base, but then add a ton of citruses. Imagine all the citruses that you could possibly think of, and then add like 2 or 3 more, and that's the citruses that are in this fragrance. This is a very citrus focused fragrance, but in my opinion, that makes it so suitable for the summer. Those style of scents typically do very well off of my skin in the summer, and they do very well in the high heat. So when I'm looking to wear that Aventus style DNA, but I'm dealing with that 90+ degree temperatures as I often get where I live, this is going to be the one that I'm going to reach for most often. Like I said, those citruses just really add a much more summer focused flair to this one. And if I'm being honest, if I could make the best comparison, think even more close to Mont Blanc Explorer, but a more summer focused version of that than to Aventus. This is like a dupe of a dupe, if I'm being honest, but it does smell amazing. I do get good performance with it. I get around that 6 to 8 hour mark, which is more than enough from a citrus fragrance. And I am really looking forward to putting some real wears and getting a much bigger dent in this one by the end of summer. Once again, we have Versace Aeros Energy. Now our last one on the list is going to be from Maison Margiela's Replica line, and it is Under the Lemon Tree. This one, as with a lot of the fragrances in the Replica line, it smells exactly like what it is named after. It smells like you are sitting under a lemon tree. Now, oddly enough, there is no lemon in the fragrance. There is a lime accord, but I think the greenness of that lime makes you think more of the green and earthiness of a lemon tree. You get a very beautiful citrus opening with that lime. You get the woody nature that makes you think of the tree that you're sitting under, but you also get a very, very beautiful green tea note with this one. And that to me is what really sets this fragrance apart. I'm a huge fan of tea notes, and this one has a very, very beautiful tea note in it. It's very, very well suited for high heat. It doesn't have the best performance. I typically get around that 6 hour mark with this one, but once again, this is one that I love so much that I do not mind reapplying. I have a travel size atomizer version of this, and whenever I finish that travel size, I'll probably just refill it from my big bottle and carry that in my pocket, if I'm being honest with you all. This is one that I absolutely love. It does well in the heat of summer for me, and it is one that I'm looking forward to wearing a lot this summer. So happy to finally have a full bottle in my collection, and definitely looking forward to putting a lot of wear into it. Once again, from the house of Margiela, we have Replica's Under the Lemon Tree. Now that is going to be it for my top 10 fragrances that I'm looking forward to wearing the most this summer. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you are looking forward to wearing the most this summer. Also, let me know what's out there that you believe I need to get my nose on. I'm always looking forward to exploring new scents, finding something new to sample, finding something new to try in the mall. Let me know what's out there that you are looking forward to wearing. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It does so much to support my channel. And until next time, peace.